Okay, so for this video, we're going to go ahead and learn how to change and edit the actual things that you bring in from the warehouse and how to paint a couple other things. So we're going to start with just editing things from the warehouse. So I I brought this dresser in. I did change the size, but now I want to change the materials here. So in order to edit something, you have to double click into the group. So you can see this is a group. Want to double click into it. Now, every single thing, if you're editing another piece of furniture that's not this specific piece of furniture, it could be slightly different. Now, when the things that you import into from SketchUp Warehouse, people make. So people have different ways of making things. So that's why you kind of have to understand SketchUp because there's a bunch of different scenarios that you can run into um, when editing other people's stuff. So here's what we have. Let's say I want to change the edges over here. So I would need to double click into it. Oh, also another thing, because you can see how this one's getting selected here too. That means it's a component. And what's different than a group is that they are together. So you can, this one doesn't have it. Okay, so you can see that if I were to double click into this, they both select when I'm just really clicking this one. So you want to get out of the groups and everything. We're not in anything. Click on one of them and just right click and click make unique. That makes it unique from the other dresser. So make unique. Now when I double click into it, it should only select that one. Okay. You will only run into that problem if you have multiples of one object in the same room. So let's say you just have this item that you want to edit. We can double click into the group now. And there is now groups inside groups inside groups. Usually is how people make things because if you have groups inside groups, that means one thing can't affect another thing. Kind of like layers in Adobe Illustrator. If you try putting something on top of something, then it might mess with something that you already made. So that's kind of what groups is. So we have this outline and then the faces and who knows what else is in here, but let's go ahead and try it out. So if you select this, you can see that this is another group and this is what I want to edit, the outside. So I got to double click into that now. And now it allows me to select the faces. So I can go ahead and select the paint and I can go paint it whatever I want. Now, this is where you can add your specific material. Maybe you wanted it like marble or wood. Well, of course, you can go look for that. Upload your own custom material and place it on here. Or again, you could use the regular materials that are already imported into SketchUp. So let's see, like a stone. That's not what I want. Mm, okay, well, just for this purpose of showing y'all, let's just do like a color. And maybe I want like this color. Then that means I have to go to this side and do this side as well. And now look, if we zoom in and look at how this thing is made, it's made with like a bunch of different little faces. So I have to go in and click all those faces, or, oops, I can simply, since I'm in this one group, I can just get my selection tool and select everything that's selected, and then see how it selects the faces. I could hit shift because you could subtract or add with that, and I could click the faces that I don't want. And now I could click paint and paint everything at once except for the faces. And now I can click out, and that's how you paint other things. Okay, now if I wanted that to happen to the other one, well, then I probably shouldn't have made it unique because, well, because it would have happened to the other one as well. Or if you want, you can just go ahead and delete this one, copy this one, and paste it on the other side like we did. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paint the faces as well. So I could just double click into the faces, select all the faces that I want, and then paint, and like that. So I did want it a darker color. Now, if I wanted to add things to it, like if I wanted knobs or handles, I definitely can. I want to make sure I'm inside this group. So when I add the knobs or pulls, that it's a part of that. So I'm inside the group. Now I go to the warehouse, which is this one. And I could do drawer knobs, drawer pulls. Drawer pulls is like these little pulley things. And then drawer knobs are like the little single ones. See, like that. Doesn't matter. It's your thing. Do whatever you want. But anyway, you're going to search for them. I want pulls. I'll take this one. Oh, you got to sign in. Okay. Yeah, make sure you're signed in. Sign in with Google. Okay. Download it, and it's going to download it into the model, and it's going to download it into the group. Yes. Well, it should have downloaded it into the group. Okay, so it didn't download into the group. So what I'm going to do is, since I just placed it in the model, I'm just going to copy it. So Control C, and it's going to copy whatever's selected. I'm going to delete it, click delete on my keyboard. Now I'm going to double click into the group of the drawers. I'm going to paste it into the group with Control V. Now I want this to be on the drawer, so I'm going to use my rotate tool. I'm going to rotate with the blue axis. I'm going to click, go onto my red axis, and go over to the green axis. So I'm rotating it 90 degrees. It's important that when you bring in items from SketchUp, that you stay on the axis. If it accidentally comes off of any like axis, then I suggest go ahead and re-import it because it's just a big mess. Just trust me. Okay, so sorry. So I got my move tool and I clicked the object that I want to move. I'm going to go ahead and move it from this point right here because I know this little edge needs to sit on the face of the drawers. Okay, so it's on the face of the drawers. If we zoom in, you're going to need to zoom in and orbit and make sure it's kind of on the drawer. See how it's kind of off? So I just zoom in, get the move tool, put my mouse on that end point of the drawer pull, click it, and then bring it all the way in. Okay. And see how it says it's on the face in the group, and I'm going to click. Now you can see that it's on the face of the group. Now I do want one on this side and one on this side. So I'm going to get my move tool, stay on that axis, and click. Um, Control C to copy it, and then Control V to paste it. So I'm just going to place it because sometimes it's hard to move right when you place it. Orbit yourself in however you need to orbit yourself. Grab the edge of it, and I'm going to place it right next to this one. I'm going to go grab this point now and then click right there. I'm kind of going to line them up just so they're right next to each other. And I can zoom out, click, and move on that axis straight across the green axis. Okay, that looks about right. I'm gonna get the selection tool, hold down Shift, click this one because I want to move them over as a whole. Click and move over still on that green axis right there to center it. Now, instead of doing all that work for all of them, I know that that's what looks right. I could just Control C. I'm copying both of them and Control V. And then again, just place it, orbit myself to where I need. Actually, I don't need that. Delete. There's an easier way. I'm going to show you how I do this. So get your pencil tool. And what I do is grab like the center or the midpoint of something. And I take it all the way over. Then I hold down Shift. And I want to make sure these are center. So I want to go get that. Probably around the center point right here and place it down. Straight down. Okay, and then you're going to also hold down Shift. Well, you're going to get your selection tool, hold down Shift, and you're going to copy the line as well. So the reason I'm copying the line is because I could just Control C and then Control V. And I'm going to go place this kind of off to where it's not touching the drawers. I'm going to get the edge of that endpoint where the line is, and I'm going to go place it on the center and find the midpoint. See? Right there. Click. So now it automatically goes right under and right on the center. Then Control V. Click. Then Control V. Click. And then I go get my selection tool and delete those 4 lines because it's not part of it. It looks ugly. I'm just clicking delete on my keyboard. Okay, and that's how you edit items. Now, every scenario is going to be different, but that's how you edit items. So instead of doing all that over again for this one, I can simply click delete, Control C, and you see why I put the drawers pulls inside that group, because it wasn't inside the group, then I wouldn't just have to click once. I have to click the drawer group and then each little pull just to copy it. It's one group. I could just Control C and Control V. Okay, that looks good. And that's how you edit items. Okay, so for this item, this is just, if I were to edit, I'm not going to go ahead and edit it, but you can just see, click into the group, double click into the group, double click. There's just a bunch of different components depending on who made your item. See, the knobs are its own drawer. double click into this one, double click, double click. See this like bottom part is part of one. Then you gotta click out. This chair pad is one of them, click out. And the base is part of it. Everything's different depending on who made it. There's like nothing that you can foresee until you import the item and figure out what this person did. Okay, now I'm going to show you all how to start organizing all the things that you bring in. So we're definitely going to want a furniture tag. So you're going to add a tag and we're going to put furniture. And now that we have all this stuff in, the easiest way to move it is going to get your selection tool and click all your furniture. So you're going to hit shift to add your bed, to add your dresser, to add your chair, and your desk. And then you could go right click entity info. Entity info will come up here. Says we clicked 5 items, 5 components. 5 of them are untagged. Now we want to tag them under furniture. And then if we click the furniture eyeball, they should all turn off. Okay, I'm just going to go add a few more things and kind of edit stuff. And you're welcome to, continue the video or leave it playing on in the background because I'm just going to start importing some things because there's a bunch of scenarios that could happen. So if this scenario happens to you, well, now you know what to do because you watched me import a couple of things, but I don't know what's going to happen on the things that I import. So I think I want window curtains. So some type of curtains. CURT. Okay, this one looks fine. Download, yes. Okay, these window curtains are massive for my little bedroom. So I'm just going to go ahead and place them on the wall. Did I place them? Okay, that's pretty good. Make sure this is brought all the way to the end. Okay, so now what we're going to use is the scale tool. The reason I'm going to use the scale tool is because, well, hold on, maybe I might not. So remember, if we bring it in from this side, everything gets thinner. Yeah, so I could use the scale tool because all it is a piece of fabric, and a piece of fabric can get bunched up. So that's why I use the scale tool. And I'm going to move the scale tool in from this side from the bottom as well. Because all it is fabric getting shorter, and fabric can obviously get shorter. I'm just going to snap it to the bottom of the floor right there. And it should look, see? And that will be okay. As long as it's not above your ceiling, obviously, we're good. Okay, so I don't want white curtains, so I'm just going to go change the color of this. So you see how this is different than the other side? I mean, can't do anything about it. I'm going to go to that home button. That gives us the colors that are inside our model. I'm definitely going to go pick something that's already inside our model. Like maybe this, I don't know what color that is. Ew, no. I was trying to look for the green that I did the door. Maybe it's too dark. I don't know what this color is. We'll do that. Oops. So I got to double click into it, select the surfaces that I want painted. Now the opposite side. And now I want this rod also changing colors. I want it this black. Okay, that'll do. Okay, now maybe some wall art. Again, you could definitely make your own wall art because all you would have to do is make a frame, which is just a square, and you go look for a picture and then paint it into that frame that you had. You could really do anything. With SketchUp, you just have to think about the process that you would need to for it to happen. Um, okay. You're gonna put this random wall art. Yes. That doesn't look like that. Okay, I'm gonna click it and maybe the color's on the other side. Okay, it's on the other side. So I'm gonna get my rotate tool, click, stay on the axis. Wait, where do I want it? I want it on this wall. So I'm gonna rotate it, click on the red axis, orbit myself to move it, get the move tool, get that piece that's gonna touch the wall, and place it on the wall. Oops, I didn't place it on the wall. There we go, bring it out. Now I placed it on the wall. So it's definitely a little bit too big, and since it's just wall art, we can easily scale it because art can come in any shape and form. Okay. Kind of want it centered. And taller. I gotta go on the blue axis. Let me find it. There we go. I'm just gonna make it a little bit thinner too. Okay, there we go. That's my wall art. You could find almost anything on SketchUp if you want in your room. Like a lamp. You could find anything. You can search for anything you can put in your room. Maybe table lamp. It's going to go on the table. Okay. Mm. I placed it. Now I can go edit it once I'm at a better angle. It's floating, so I got to move it down. I'm going to put my cursor at the bottom of the surface. bring it down on that blue axis, and I want to bring it over on that red axis just to center it. Now from the top, I just want to move it in the center. Okay, you can double click to edit the lamp as well. You could paint it whatever you want to paint it. Maybe I want a see-through base. Got to go edit every little single thing, just how people make it. Okay, glass base lamp. Now, what color do I want the thing? I can pick whatever I want. Got to go click into every single thing. I don't even think I like this color. Double click, paint it. Okay. And that's what we're left with. I hate that color. And then I want the same thing on the other one, and then you just Control V. Okay. I'll keep it like that so this video is short. But anyway, that's how you do things. And then you could I would put a TV here, maybe computer. I would also put a rug, but for the sake of this video, that's going to be probably as much things as I'm going to put in because I can't show you every single scenario that could possibly happen with things that you import. But anyway, you definitely want to go tag those items too, because when we click furniture for the eyeball, the new things don't go in there. So we need to select the curtains, hold down shift, the lamps, and the artwork. And then on the entity info for them, you just got to put them under the furniture. Now when you click the eyeball, that should work. And that's your room. Make sure everything's functional. Make sure somebody can walk through here. Make sure if your drawers or cabinets need to open, make sure they open correctly. Make sure, oh, see, that can't happen. So move over the desk a little bit. Then we should be good. You just got to make sure everything's functional in the room. Okay, that'll be it for the decorations, and then after that, we will get more technical with making sure everything's the correct sizes and whatnot. Make sure you have your furniture tag completed, and that's it.